This lecture is on indefinite pronouns.
A pronoun that does not refer to a particular person, place, or thing is called an indefinite pronoun. Indefinite meaning not definite. And when we don't know the specific person or the specific place or thing, then it's called an indefinite pronoun. An example: has anyone read the folk tale, The Voice of the River? Anyone is our indefinite pronoun in this example. We don't know specifically who has read the folk tale. We're asking. Anyone who has would be the antecedent. Indefinite pronouns, like any other pronoun, can be singular or plural. There are some that can be either, depending on their antecedent, and we'll get to those in a second. Our singular indefinite pronouns are found here in this box. They are these right here. Okay, so we have anybody, everybody, no one, someone, anyone, everyone, nothing, somebody, anything, everything, nobody, something, much, one, each, another, either, and neither. You'll notice that they have some things in common. We have several that end in very similar endings. Body, one, thing, and they have different beginnings. We have any, every, no, and some. When we combine them, we get our first three lines here. We just mix them up and make different combinations. Anybody, everybody, nobody, somebody. Anyone, everyone, no one, someone. Anything, everything, nothing, something. That's one way to help you remember your indefinite pronouns that are singular. These are always singular regardless of their antecedent. Then there are 5 additional singular indefinite pronouns that you will have to memorize. You are expected to know them and know that they're singular. Another, each, one, much, either, and neither. We have some plural indefinite pronouns. There are only 5, and again, you are expected to be able to memorize them, know what they are: both, few, many, others, and several. By definition, most of these should seem plural to you, both being 2, few being more than 1, many being lots, others being more than 1, and several being more than 1. When we use our indefinite pronouns, we may not know the antecedent. Everything is ready for the trip. Everything is your indefinite pronoun. We don't know exactly what's included in everything, but we know that everything that we need is ready. In the second example, few are willing to wait until tomorrow, few being our indefinite pronoun. Again, we don't know specifically which people are the few, but we know there are a few. Sometimes we do know the antecedent. For example, both of the artists use watercolors. Both is your indefinite pronoun. We know that we're referring to artists, and we also know that there's how many? 2, because with there's both, there's only 2. In our second example, as the animals paraded by, several seemed nervous. Several is your indefinite pronoun. Animals is the antecedent. It's referring to some or several of the animals, not to all of the animals. So we don't know exactly which are included, but we know that it's several of the animals in this particular group. The reason it's important to know if they're singular or plural is just like with collective nouns, your possessive pronoun and your verbs must match. So if we look at our examples here, everyone did their homework last night. Everyone did his or her homework. Everyone is your indefinite pronoun. And this is the correct sentence because everyone is singular, so you must say his or her since we don't know the gender. Incorrect, somebody left their binder on the floor. There is plural, somebody is singular. We cannot use them together. Correct would be somebody left his or her binder on the floor. Somebody is the indefinite pronoun, and it is singular, so we say his or her. For the verb, we have a singular example here. Everyone discusses the plot of the book. Everyone is your singular indefinite pronoun. Discusses is your verb. It is the singular form. It's the form that would go with he or she or it. You can use substitution. Right here, it mentions using substitution, just like we did with our collective nouns. Okay, same idea. You'd substitute the singular pronoun he, she, or it to make sure you had the right verb for your singular indefinite pronoun. If it's plural, both talk about King Midas. Again, both is your indefinite pronoun. We could substitute they. They talk about King Midas to make sure our verb form is correct. Let's go back to those indefinite pronouns that can be either. We have up here 5. They are all, any, most, none, and some. When you use one of these indefinite pronouns, whether it's singular or plural depends on its antecedent. When we use these, we are referring to an antecedent either in the whole or in part. So, for example, down here, our singular example, most of the apple is bruised. I know most seems like it should be plural, right? But in this case, most is referring to a portion of one apple. The antecedent of most is the apple, and it is singular, one apple. So therefore, most is singular. And we use the verb is. It is bruised, the apple is bruised, most is bruised. If we had taken the apple out of the sentence, if I had said, here is an apple, most of it is bruised, again, we would still use the singular form. In our second example, most of the students are hungry. This probably seems more logical to you. Most is our indefinite pronoun again here, but this time students is the antecedent and students is plural. So most is considered plural and we use are in the sentence. They are hungry, the students are hungry, most are hungry.
Your assignment is to write a sentence using an indefinite pronoun correctly, and you must identify the indefinite pronoun. You can underline it, bold it, color it, tell me what it is, but you must identify the indefinite pronoun in your sentence.